Good Wednesday evening, South Carolina Weather Watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Joseph Peterson. Let's go on and talk about the weather for your Wednesday evening going into your future. And so, we have some stuff that we are going to talk about tonight. Obviously, before we get into that, if you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. We've had 6 people tune in so far and only 4 likes, so make sure you go on and do so. Also, make sure that if you are new here and you have never hit the subscribe button before, go on and hit the subscribe button now. We're at 611. Right now, 611. We are 89 away from that main goal of 700 subscribers. So we've been moving. We've been moving on a steady track, so that's good. Let's keep it moving there. Now, what are we going to talk about tonight? Obviously, we will talk about our current weather, what's going on currently. We'll also talk about the weather for tonight as well. We also will talk about our patterns in the tropics. In those areas, we'll talk about our obviously big cold blast is going to move in. That's going to bring us our first freezing temperatures of the fall season. So we're going to be talking about that. That will happen next week. At this point, so many people have been asking me about it at this point, and so now we're going to talk about it again. That, and then for the most part, we'll just continue to talk about everything future-wise, and so just whatever comes up is what we'll talk about. Also, some thunderstorms coming back to the state. We'll talk about that as well. Also, one more thing before we go on and get started. We've made it to Wednesday. We are halfway done with the week. Yes, we made it all the way to Wednesday evening. Only have Thursday and Friday left to go. And we will be at that Saturday. So now starting off, what is currently going on right now throughout the state of South Carolina? Absolutely nothing is ongoing right now as we speak. So we are looking good right now. If we go in and scroll our way out, see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., we have some activity going on for sure. Some activity definitely going on. Is there any snowfall ongoing? Right now, when I go in and look at it, I don't really see too much. In terms of snowfall, I do see some rainfall from Maine down into New Hampshire to New York to Pennsylvania. And yes, we do have some severe storms going on up here as well, from Maryland over into Pennsylvania and New York, where we have winds right now of up to 60 miles per hour. And that's already on top of the winds that they're getting of up to around 60, 50, 60 miles per hour right now, just from this system alone, not even with a severe storm. They're getting wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour. And so they're going to get some rainfall over there. Rainfall going on in Michigan. If we move on down here towards the southeast, looks actually really good. Central U.S. as well looks good. But if we move over here to the west, we do have some rainfall, some active activity going on from Washington to Oregon to California to Nevada to Montana to Wyoming. Just all these areas receiving some rainfall. Now, in terms of cloud cover, not really much cloud cover ongoing right now. Not really much ongoing. Even if we go into our future in terms of cloud cover, for the most part, even as we move into like tomorrow night when I go live again, still looks relatively good. And we may have some cloud cover maybe starting to move in as we go into like the western parts of the state, going into the southern parts, but mostly clear. Current temperatures right now, 59 in Columbia as well as 58 in Orangeburg, 58 in Somerville as well as 60 in Georgetown, 62 in Melrose Inland, and even around 63 in Myrtle Beach, 59 in Conway, and 64 inside of North Myrtle Beach. We also do have around 58 in Hartsville, 57 in Bennettsville, and 59 in Lancaster, 59 in Union and Spartanburg, as well as 59 in Gaffney and York, and 57 in Rock Hill, 60 in Greenville and Clemson, as well as 60 inside of Anderson. We also do have around 50 I believe that says 58 over there near Aiken, and 62 Charleston and Beaufort. Low temperatures for tonight, you have around 48 in Greenville, 48 also inside of Spartanburg, and even around 47 in Rock Hill and Winsboro, 49 in Columbia, and 47 in Newberry, 48 in Aiken and Orangeburg, and even around 50 in Moncks Corner, 51 in Georgetown, and 54 in Myrtle Beach and Charleston, 56 in Hilton Head Island, and 49 in Florence and Dillon. Now, what about rainfall for tonight? Rainfall for tonight, we look relatively good. No rainfall is expected tonight, nor tomorrow or tomorrow night. So we look good in terms of accumulable precipitation. If we go in and look at the crazy score. The crazy score right now, we are at a 12. If you have no idea what the crazy score is, the score that we see how crazy the weather is inside of South Carolina. Why are we at a 12? Well, it's going to be dry, mild temperatures, partly cloudy, and there will be a bit of a frontal transition. Weak dry front crosses overnight. Elevated low-level winds prevent strong radiational cooling as well. So we won't really see too much of anything tonight. Pretty much, it's gonna be nice and calm. SPC outlook for tonight, we look good. Tomorrow, also, we look good. But on Friday, I said there will be a little bit of a return in terms of thunderstorms. And up in the upstate, there is a chance for some thunderstorms on Friday, November the 7th. Up there in the far upstate, just to the west of Greenville and Spartanburg, we do have a risk for some thunderstorms up there. Now, for the most part, it seems like that's really just the only area, and it probably will spread as we get into Saturday as well, but we'll talk about that either tomorrow or honestly for the next couple of days. I'm not even quite sure if I'm even going to be here during the evenings. I'll talk about that at the end though, for the most part. But just continuing through, we might see that thunderstorm risk increase over in the Saturday as well. Now, for excessive rainfall, nothing here. No excessive rainfall, no flash flooding, anything like that. We look good here as well. So let's go on and talk about the models. We're going to start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. And it's just as we go on and push this forward, you can see here, not seeing anything at all. Just as you go all the way through, you may see like a little isolated shower just as you move into around like the afternoon hours on the 7th, which is Friday. But for the most part, that's the only thing that I see really precipitation-wise. Everything else looks nice and dry. Now let's go even further than that. We have some rainfall that moves in from the west, and it kind of pushes a bit more towards the east out into the ocean, but for the most part, it stays relatively on the more or less dry side. Now, there goes the cold front, the major cold blast that everyone's been talking about. As we go into November the 10th and November the 11th, that is next week, Monday and Tuesday at this time. And it pushes through and it brings a bunch of cold air behind it, even some snow possible. I've heard people saying, oh, snow possible over here in the mountains of South Carolina. I've heard some people say, oh, just in the mountains of North Carolina. So I've heard a lot of things. We'll continue to see, though, just see what happens here. But this is November the 11th, 1 a.m., and we have this huge cold air over us at that time. Like I said, it doesn't really last long, especially if you've been here for the past couple of days. I said it wasn't really going to last long, only going to last like a couple of days, and then we're going to get right back to that warmer than average air. So if you are a warm weather fan, that's great news for you. Going to the 15th and the 16th, we're going to get hit again with another little front, again around like the 16th and the 17th of November, and we get some more rainfall. And guess what? Guess what comes right behind that? November the 21st, another cold front brings its way through, and so we've just been going through all these cold fronts over and over and over again, and you can see the pattern of all these rainfall and snowfall that's even going on in the mountains of North Carolina. But you're not seeing anything for South Carolina, though. And speaking of snowfall, if you go into how much snowfall, you can see here on the map, not a drop over here in South Carolina, so this model isn't saying that. The Euro, I believe the Euro doesn't have snowfall maps on here. The CMC does, and this goes into like November the 15th, doesn't show anything else here in South Carolina though. Even if you move into the Icon, which I think the Icon does as well, Icon doesn't show anything either. If I go to the 12s, yeah, I think I can go a little bit further. I can. Yeah, it doesn't show anything else for us. So we're not watching for any snowfall right now, but I have seen some model that kind of took this snowfall a little bit further south. But for now, I'm not really looking for that right now. Even if we go into our actual look for snowfall, if you go through like the next 3 days or so, I know that's a bit of a short time, but it definitely does not cover this whole event. But it does, for the most part, show absolutely nothing. But if we have snowfall, guaranteed, I will be one of the first to tell you about it, though, if it does become possible at that time. Now, if we go on and look at our next area, which is the tropics, Or actually not the tropics, excuse me. I do want to talk about this a little bit more in depth real quick before we go on and go to talk about the tropics though. I just want to go on and show you the actual anomalies real quick. I mean, right now, warmer than average, but there goes the cold front as it moves its way through, brings in all of this cooler than average air, bringing us definitely around like a good like 12 to 20 degrees below average temperature at this time. And that will move its way through, and it will cause us freezing temperatures as well. Will cause us some freezing temperatures. You start off, I mean, as early as, you can start off even as early as November the 10th in the morning at 7 o'clock on that Monday. You have temperatures down in the 20s for a good amount of a 30. So freeze watches, I've already read the discussion for some of them. Freeze watches, freeze warnings, they might have to be used here. And so the upstate for sure. And not only the upstate, but potentially even the Midlands as well, as they will also have temperatures down in the 30s, and the coastal region will be down in the 40s. So we could see some widespread frost with these temperatures down into the 30s, and then a lot of us being in even the 20s. And one thing I also want you to look at here, on November the 11th, right when you wake up, you're seeing 30s all the way down to the low country. You're seeing 30s, and when I say 30s, I mean low 30s, like below freezing. 32 over there in like the PD. You see 30 over there near Columbia. You see 30 over there near the Tri-County area. I even think I even see a 30 right there near the coastal area. That might just be an isolated area. And again, these are 138 hours out. But freezing temperatures can go all the way down close to the coastal areas. It's possible. It's possible. That's the wrong one. If I go over to the Euro as well, Euro, I believe, shows kind of the same thing. I think it's a little bit more on the more not really going to get too close. I see like a lot of 33, 34, so that's close. Definitely could still get there. The CMC does get 30s and 20s out, but it's a lot more displaced and a lot more on the more northern and eastern side as well, more than inside the actual Midlands and the southern upstate itself. And then the Icon, it doesn't go out far enough. I think you have to go a little bit further. Icon definitely shows, I mean, this is definitely the coldest one right here. This is 4 a.m. November the 11th. Temperatures down in the 20s for pretty much the entire state at that point on November the 11th. You even see some 23s over there. So next week, especially as you go into Monday night and Sunday night, going into early Monday and Tuesday morning, it's going to be cold like you don't want to go outside. So I definitely would just recommend that you definitely be prepared for that. I know some people still don't have their heat on. You're probably going to need to have it on soon. I'm sorry that I'm going to have to break it to you like that, but definitely going to have to turn it on. Unless you can stand it, which would, in my opinion, you'd be a soldier after that if you can still stay inside the house without the heat on. It's 28 degrees outside. Now, we're done with all that. Now let's go on and talk about the tropics, as there's absolutely nothing going on. Absolutely nothing going on right now. As tropical cyclone activity is not expected during the next 7 days. If we go on and look at what the actual ensembles say, ensembles right now, for the most part, I think I clicked zoom it in by accident. Let me zoom out real quick. There we go. We go on and just push this forward. You can see nothing going on in the tropics. You saw like that little one area that we had kind of get towards South Carolina, and it was like an anomalous model, but we saw a little tropical storm / maybe a little hurricane try to make landfall over Florida, South Carolina, but it's gone now, and I told you it probably would be, most likely would be, just because it was over 300 hours, and it was like 2 weeks out, so that definitely was going to go away. But now, I mean, I see some low pressures forming, but again, nothing that's really catching my eye here that's really making me say, okay, we're going to have to watch this for sure. Even as we go back a little bit, though, I do see some stuff popping up in the main development region, though, but again, nothing that's really catching my eye too much. So that's it for the tropics. So let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off, I didn't really think about this real quick. I believe my Aunt Lula was here first. I'm sorry, the question is in the way. She says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Also says, I pray that everyone had a blessed day. I did. Hopefully everyone else did. Thank you so much for that. Mr. Chris comes in and says, good evening, everyone. Hope you had a great day. I did. Was a very nice day in Monk's Corner. Not a cloud in the sky. And that's pretty much what it was for me as well. I mean, there was some clouds, but wasn't like any sort of like, you know, like cumulus clouds. They're almost like a wispy cirrus type. Then my Aunt Lula comes back and says today in Georgetown it was a beautiful day, nice weather. Same here as well. Mr. Chris has been watching the weather all day and not looking forward to the beginning of next week. Yeah, next week temperatures potentially. I mean, like I just showed you all the models earlier, just broke all that down. You have temperatures, some models saying freezing temperatures down below 30 pretty much for the entire state except for the coastal areas. You have some that says it's only going to freeze in the upstate. In the Midlands, you have some that says it's going to freeze in like the upstate and not really the Midlands, but the PD area. And then we just saw a model, obviously, that said it was going to take over the state. So right now, it's still all over the place. Right now, it is still all over the place. And so we're going to have to wait until probably we get into like this weekend to really bring it down and to really just see what are those temperatures really going to look like. I can't actually go to the actual forecast itself, though. If we go right here to the statewide forecast, if we go on right to, instead of high temperatures, you do low temperatures. We're going to go Thursday, Friday. I mean, look at Friday night, down to the 60s for a lot of us, though. Going all the way into Saturday, Sunday. And then that's when you start to see some drop. But Monday night is where things start to get a bit interesting, though. I mean, you see 25 up here in the upstate, but then you see like 35, 39 near Head Island, Charleston, and then still freezing, but over there near Monk's Corner and Walterboro and Georgetown. So I think that the National Weather Service is kind of taking on that idea as well of pretty much the entire state will be freezing, except for the coastal areas. So they're trying to take that turn right now, I think. Let's see, what else do we have inside of the chat for tonight? Mr. Rick says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. My Aunt Lou says, yes, I saw it will be cold. That says, good evening, Joseph. I trust all is well. I was just outside admiring this beautiful weather. I really wish it could stay like this was for every season. Well, in terms of, what's going on, especially over there near San Antonio, I know y'all still having temperatures like low 61, highs of 84. That's some good weather right there. Highs in the low 80s, lows in the low 60s. That sounds like a very, very nice weather right there. Mr. Michael comes in and says, hi, Joseph, I have it on very good authority that the winter season is canceled due to lack of interest. I absolutely agree with you. Absolutely agree with you there. But obviously, I'm more of a summer type person, the winter type person. But we got to go through all the seasons, though. We got to go through it. So, unfortunately, can't just cancel it. And then Trail says, greetings, everyone. Greetings to you. And then also says, this moon is so beautiful. I love astrology. I did see it. When I did my forecast not for YouTube, but for another website. I actually did show the moon actually behind me in the video that I did. So I didn't. I did kind of like catch it in the background. She also says, ooh, cold weather, yes. This cold frost is going to be a blessing for the collards. I don't know too much about that. But if you say that it does help, well, hopefully it does. My name says, hi, Jay, hello to you. And then that says, Joseph, it is beautiful. I think I'll start doing my walks at night. Well, like I said, I mean, you still are good. I mean, you still have temperatures in the low 60s. So I honestly say, yeah, I mean, you can definitely do early in the morning. Either one works. Early in the morning, late at night, in the evening, when it's like cooled down a lot. I definitely say that would be good. And so that's all that I can see inside of the audience for tonight. Again, remember, if you have not put a Q&A question inside the chat yet, I've seen one from Mr. Chris. I've seen one from my Aunt Lula, and then can't remember if I saw Miss Tolliver say one or not, but I know for a fact Mr. Chris and my Aunt Lula both put in one, so they're good. I got theirs put down already. If you have not put your question in, go on right here where it says live chat, and then you'll say top chat, live chat questions, answer viewer questions. I will go on and write it down for you, so go on and put it in there if you have not already, as I will be doing a Q&A since we hit 600 subscribers. And that's all that I have for the audience for now. We'll come back and see if we have any other chats later, but for now, let's go on and talk about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. Starting off, you might be asking why in the world are we talking about these locations? Because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly, and show our support for them for tuning in pretty much close to nightly. We're going to go on and talk about their forecast, because even though their area is not really being talked about much, they still come on and they still show support. So we start off with San Antonio first. Low temperatures tonight at 61. High temperatures tomorrow at 84. And then low temperatures tomorrow night at 61. Now, there will be some patchy fog. I will say that. There will be some patchy fog, so there will be some visibility issues as you go into tonight and tomorrow morning. But other than that, nothing else really to talk about for you. No excessive rainfall for you. But you do have a bit of a fire concern. Starting off right here on Sunday, November the 9th, you do have a 40 to a 69% chance of critical fire weather to occur. So definitely do not burn anything on Sunday if you obviously don't have to. Then for Raleigh, being the next location with low temperatures tonight at 50, high temperatures tomorrow at 66, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 40. So there is no excessive rainfall, no severe weather, no precipitation, nothing like that. So you're good there as well. For Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight at 45, high temperatures tomorrow at 56, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 36. Slight chance of showers tonight, and it will be a bit breezy tonight as well. And patchy frost definitely is also expected as you go into tomorrow night, as temperatures will be down in the mid-30s, and so that will cause that patchy frost concern. No precipitation for tomorrow. But excessive rainfall and severe weather is also not expected, so that's a good thing there. And then finally, for Duncan, Oklahoma, you have low temperatures tonight at 51, high temperatures tomorrow at 78, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 53. No precipitation is expected, no excessive rainfall, no severe weather. So now that that is out of the way, what are we going to expect throughout the entire U.S.? Just weather news-wise, a Pacific storm will move across the northwestern U.S. through Thursday with a low elevation rainfall, gusty winds, and mountain snow. A storm crossing the northeastern U.S. will continue to have gusty to high winds, scattered rain showers, and limited snow showers into Thursday. And so we're pretty much just going to see a bunch of wind, pretty much, just as we go through tonight, going into tomorrow, not for us, but for a lot of other areas, like up there in the northeast, over there in the west, in Nevada, California, over there in Montana, over there in Wyoming, and then even over there inside of potentially the Pacific Northwest, just as that storm will move through, as low elevation rainfall, gusty winds, mountain snow, all that stuff will be ongoing. And other than that, that's all that I can really see here. Let me see, do we have anything else inside of the chat? Thad says, I sent one last night. I'm assuming that you mean a picture. I do see a picture right here that you sent about an hour ago. Right here it says, my moon. That was the caption that he put. And it's a really good picture here. Actually, this is a fantastic picture. Let me go ahead and share this real quick. This is the picture that he sent right here. Fantastic picture of the moon right here that he got around an hour or so ago. And so thank you so much for the picture. If you want to go on and send me a picture, you can by sending it to scweather360@gmail.com. Again, that is scweather360@gmail.com. If you also want to go on and put a message inside the chat, be a part of the audience, you can. You just have to be a subscriber of the channel, and we're at 611, trying to get to 700. If you're new and you have never hit the subscribe button yet, go on and do so. He says I sent a question. I'm gonna have to go back because I didn't see one. Maybe it was a question that maybe I accidentally answered last night. I'm not quite sure. But I'll go back and check out the chat to see what you sent. Because I checked the question tab and I didn't see anything, and I don't see anything in this one either. So I'll go back and check that. We have top fans for tonight. I mean, we had a huge amount of chats come in tonight. But from what I could see, if I can go back on right here and see, I believe Mr. Chris was at number 1. My Aunt Lou was at number 2, and then Trail was at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans for the night. If you want to be a part of the top fans, you can. You just have to go on and be here early, and then also be active inside the chat, so more than just 1 or 2 chats. And that is all that I can see here. I'll go back and check out that question, see if I can find it. If I can, I will let you know. And that's all that I really have for tonight. I'll be here for about another 5 minutes, see if I can see anything else inside the chat that anybody wants to send last minute. But I will be back tomorrow morning with your Thursday morning forecast update. I'm probably not going to be here for a good amount of evenings for a little bit. I believe probably not Thursday. No, I definitely probably won't be here on Friday evening. And then Saturday, that's still up in the air. We'll see what happens there as well. But for the most part, tomorrow, Friday, most likely won't be here for the evening updates. Morning updates will still be here. Saturday, still up in the air right now. I'll let you know. But mornings will still be here. But if something obviously happens, something hits the fan, and it has to be, like an emergency update, I'll be here, obviously, for that. But that's all. So everyone have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday evening. Again, make sure that you tune back in tomorrow morning for your Thursday morning forecast update.